Okay, so afternoon guys, welcome to another review from me, Matt, the Bearded Berserker, who, I'm sure you've heard this before, I'm in serious amounts of agony at the moment. I've got a slipped disc in my back and off work at the moment, and I've hauled myself up onto my review chair to do another review for you guys. Now, before I start, I say this every time, but huge, massive thank you, because I literally mean it. To each and every one of you guys out there that's following me and supporting what I do over there on Instagram as Viking Beard Matt, and on here, my Bearded Berserker YouTube channel. Now come up to 323 subscribers, which I know in the big scheme of things isn't a lot, but that's 323 people, you know, real people out there that have subscribed to my channel, and now coming up to 14,000 views of my videos, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I really cannot thank you enough to each and every one of you guys out there that's watching my videos, liking my videos, commenting, because I do read each and every single comment, and those of you that are subscribed to me. And the reason that I set up both Instagram and YouTube is to try and help promote, advertise and support these small brands out there. You know, not talking massive, huge brands. Let's face it, they got a shed ton of money that they can throw into promoting, marketing and advertising their products that these smaller brands don't have. Small brands, small companies, small businesses, individuals and craftsmen out there that are making some amazing products. And we really need to get behind them, help them, support them and encourage them, because if we don't, they're just going to disappear, go, well, what was the point in that? And all we'd be left with are these huge faceless brands. Now, with all the reviews that I do on my channel, stuff I go out and buy myself, stuff that gets sent through to me, I am a consumer the same as you guys, and I am completely honest. It's what I promised to be since day one, and it's what I will always be on this channel, is completely honest. So I'm completely honest. I'm biased. Everything I do is my own 100% opinion, and I'm not affiliated to any of these brands whatsoever. So if there's something I love about a product, I'll say reasons why I like it. If there's stuff that I don't like about a product, I'll say reasons why I don't like that. Obviously not being harsh or anything like that, but you guys want to know the real deal, because there is nothing worse than going out and spending our hard-earned money in cash on products. We get them home, it doesn't live up to expectations, we don't use them, it ends up in the bin, or it's just really poor quality. So I'm here giving you my complete honest advice and opinion, which is what I've done since day one. Now, today I've got something, if you've been following me, or if you follow me over there on Instagram, you will know something completely different that I have not reviewed or even started doing anything like this, but of a real interest. Now, I'm going to put my glasses on for this, because that way it makes it easier for me to read my notes and talk to you guys, because I'm getting old and I need reading glasses now. Now, I'm coming up to around about 46 years old, and when I was young and I was at school, and you go through that whole careers choice of what do you want to do when you leave school, because it's time to decide, and it's like, well, I'm 16 years old, how am I supposed to know what to do for the rest of my life? And one thing I've always been interested in as a kid is kind of horror movies, special effects, prosthetics and stuff like that. And I turned around to mum and dad and I was like, as a kid, this isn't last week, as a kid, and said, I'm really interested in this. I've always done well at school in graphics and art and everything else all those years ago, and kind of loved it. And it's not so much about horror movies and stuff like that, but it's like, how do they create those effects? How do they make it look realistic? How does, for instance, he put a knife in him and it's not a real knife? And how do they do the masks and the makeup and the blood and everything else? So I've had a love of kind of like horror movies, but more through the special effects that they use within the horror movies. And mum and dad turned around and said, well, you can't do that. That's not going to bring in any money. There's no living in that. And so I joined the fire service when I left school, lifeboat crew, catering, and now teaching kids about beach conservation and marine conservation and sea animals and stuff like that. But I've always had this kind of love of special effects and how they're made, the people that create them, and what they do out there to make this stuff look cool. because I'm not necessarily into what I would class as zombies, vampires and that sort of stuff. It's more in the horror movies, real people that are playing real people, if that makes sense. So kind of like an actor that is playing a real person that is just damn creepy and horrible, as opposed to aliens and stuff like that. And so it's something that has really interested me. So I've kind of like wanted to start doing a few reviews, especially with Halloween coming up. And plus, as you well know, I've got my Halloween special coming up, 2-hour special on the 31st of October, which I done last year, which went ridiculously well. So I'm trying to improve on that this year. And to start doing a few horror sort of products, effects products and stuff like that, as well as just your beard products and stuff. But only small brands and individuals and craftsmen, not huge brands and stuff. So around about 4 days ago, I got this product through in the mail to have a look at, see what I think of, and I cannot thank them enough for sending it through. His name is Rudger, and from Europe, and they're known as Moonstruck Effects. And basically what they create is teeth for kind of like screen and entertainments. Also, they do prosthetics and props and stuff like that. And they've sent me through a set of teeth to have a look at, because I've kind of, as a kid growing up, be like, well, how do they do that? Because that's not really him. He doesn't look like that. Have they made him up to look like that? And what's the process and everything else? So thank you so much to Rudger for sending that through. I will be putting links down below to Moonstruck Effects, and please give them a follow. Now, they've sent through in a package. We're going to be looking through the packaging, the teeth that they've sent through, applying them and everything else like that. I'm not going to be scoring them out of 20, because with a lot of crafts products, I don't score them, because one person's idea of making something is completely different to another person's idea of making something. It's very difficult to balance the two sort of between, whereas with beard products, skin products and hair products, because a lot of the time they have the same sort of base ingredients and stuff like that, that's when I'll start scoring them. But with crafts and stuff like that, if I said make a bowl to one person, that's going to turn out completely different to if I ask somebody else to make a bowl. So it's sort of open to interpretation. Now, so like I say, this is from Moonstruck Effects in Europe. A nice little logo with a rather creepy looking clown. Moon at the top. And we've got create what you never dared to imagine. www.moonstruckeffects.com. High quality FX teeth for screen and entertainment. And there is a picture of a zombie woman on the back with really pleasant looking teeth. And on the back of that, I will show you the bottom bit towards the end of the video. You've got some sort of horrid soldier with really nasty teeth. Also in there, I had a business card, www.moonstruckeffects.com. Dear buyer, thank you for your online purchase from Moonstruck Effects. You are now ready to create a character that goes beyond the limits of imagination. We hope your shopping experience with us has met your expectations. Please contact us for any further information or products that you may require. Best regards, Moonstruck Effects. So that's nice. And one thing I have liked about Moonstruck Effects since me contacting them is they're constantly, what do you think of this? How would you like that? Do you want it like this? Would you like it like that? We could use this. And it's so nice to see that. When I was young, going back to me youth, when I was young, we had sort of like teeth, not the sort of two sets of vampire teeth, plastic ones. I think they were called Billy Bob teeth or something like that, which my nan bought me a set when I was young because I was crazing her on holiday. I want a set of those. And they were okay, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're talking years ago, if you know what I mean. And I know, obviously, with technology, it's come on a lot. And they were okay, but they didn't fit particularly well, even though they were allegedly designed for, oh, they make you look like this. And there was like 20 or 50 different sorts of designs of teeth and stuff. But they were okay, but they weren't great. It was kind of like a step up from the original vampire fangs. And they were all right, but now obviously we've got the new tech stuff through. And so this is the package that the teeth came in. These are called Nazareth Teeth. Now inside of this, you obviously in a clear compartment here had some teeth. Also a packet of thermal beads. Opening the packaging up. On the back side of the box, you've got a couple of different sets of the teeth that they do. Handmade movie quality teeth. Customise your fit in 30 minutes or less with hot water. And that handmade in Belgium, which is where they come from. And the minute that it said customise your fit in 30 minutes or less with hot water, I panicked. Because even though I'm kind of good at art and graphics and stuff like that, I'm not really a hands-on person. I've got big sort of stubby fingers and everything else, and was stabbed through my finger when I was young and by some strange school child wielding a chisel, broke my tendons in one of my fingers and everything else like that. So I'm kind of like, this, I hope this turns out as good as they make it look on their video, because they have a YouTube video of how to use the teeth, how to fit them and everything else like that. And with the Billy Bob teeth that I had when I was young, which didn't kind of go according to plan and made me look a bit strange and just was not that easy, I was kind of a bit worried from this from the start. Now, like I say, handmade FX teeth for screen and entertainment, and everything that they do is not mass produced. It's not like you pick one off the shelf and you have that and everything else. And they do two sorts of teeth. They do a custom effects teeth, which is literally made to measure for your teeth and gums and everything like that. Or they do what they've sent through to me, one called a Pro FX teeth, which is kind of like not so much one size fits all, because you can adapt them, you can change them and stuff like that to fit your own gob. And like I say, they do prosthetics and props and stuff like that. And you can literally go into choosing all sorts, because they are handmade from start to finish. You can have them, you can choose the gum colour, the sort of teeth you want, whether it's alien. I see they're doing teeth sets as well, where you can actually pull the teeth out, vampire teeth, regular teeth, brace teeth. And one of my favourite characters of all horror films that I've ever seen has been Captain Spaulding, played by Sid Haig in House of a Thousand Corpses and other Rob Zombie movies, apart from his own movies and stuff like that. And I've loved that whole kind of... I like it when a real person portrays a monster, horror character or something like that, because you kind of like think it's more scary because it's actually a human. And if you've watched House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects and stuff like that, he kind of has this sort of whole American style sideshow clown look to him and really manky teeth and everything like that. And they said, well, what sort of teeth are you looking for? Rudger did. I said, I'm kind of looking for that, because hopefully I can do some makeup or mask or something like that that kind of fits that whole sort of leather facey. Because obviously that was a real person wearing somebody else's skin as a mask, which was kind of more frightening to me personally as a child than sort of like your Freddy Kruegers and stuff like that, which were more kind of aliens. So I've always liked that realistic person that's real and you can see that they're a tangible character, but because of the way they look and the way they act, it's more tangible than to Frankenstein and stuff like that, even though I hold stuff like Frankenstein and Dracula and vampires and everything in high regard, because obviously it's a genre. So, getting back to it, sorry, off track a bit then. Inside this, you get a booklet, a fold-out booklet of how to install your teeth and various different steps. All this is on the website, and like I said, there is a lady on a YouTube channel that is basically goes through the stages of making the teeth, and or not making the teeth, but how to fit the teeth and everything. So a few days ago, they do different ones as well, like these zombie ones where it's kind of like the actual palate itself lifts up in your mouth. And so a few days ago, I'm sat there other half's at work, I'm in pain, I'm sat there, I've got a bowl of hot water in front of me because you need that for the thermal beads, bowl of cold water for setting everything, knife in front of me, candle in front of me, pin in front of me, all sorts of stuff, and I set about moulding my teeth. Now, before we go into the whole moulding process, these are the teeth that were sent through to me. They are ridiculously well sculpted and made. I mean, if you can see, I hope the camera is doing this justice, because these do not look fake. You get those sort of teeth, and don't get me wrong, the cheaper side of teeth and stuff like that don't look real, but these actually do. And you, like I say, you can choose the gum colours, sort of like 20 odd different sorts of pigments you can use for gum colours. And this is the bottom set of teeth as well. And so as you can see, I've kind of wanted them grimy looking, chipped, broken, cut, missing and stuff like that. So these were the set of ganachas that came through. They literally partially go all the way around, sort of up to around about, your fangs on the side here, slightly further back than that. And so the first thing that's required when you get these through is a bowl of hot water. You put the actual teeth in, because it comes as is. We'll just talk about one set. Put this in hot water, put it into your mouth, hold it, suck it and everything to kind of like fit the entire teeth around your gums and the way that your mouth actually is. And fitted absolutely fantastically, not a problem whatsoever. And also inside you get a pack of kind of like thermal activated beads. There's about 3/4 of a packet in here. You pour them into hot water, split them into two halves, so half of your top set, half of your bottom set. You kind of roll it into a sausage shape, put it on the inside of the teeth, then you bite into it, you suck it, you hold everything in place, leave it for a few minutes. And what I did to actually speed up the process of setting was to swill cold water around my mouth, which kind of like hardened up the stuff inside. So this is what was left. Now, don't worry about the black bits. The black bits that you can see on this, it might look horrible and it might look disgusting, but I didn't, when you do this, you get like bits of excess thermal bead sort of like material coming over the gums and stuff like that. You need a very sharp knife to kind of trim it all back and everything down so it's flush. Now, I've got a couple of missing teeth. Don't get me wrong, I'm not ashamed to mention that. I do go to the dentist, I look after my teeth, but due to old age, I've lost a couple of teeth. And so I was interested in whether these are going to work. And I don't have a particularly sharp knife. So the closest thing that I'd done was to heat up the end of a knife that's got a very thin tip on it over a flame. Then I used it just to smooth some of the edges around on it, which has left this black effect on, or the black stuff on there, which is basically carbon off of the knife and the wax candle that I was using. And you can see this a bit on the bottom here. But it's kind of like a clear material that you use to set it. It then turns white. You cut off all the excess around the top and around the sides. I had a couple of graty bits which scratched against my gum once I pulled them out, which I've just used a really hot knife just to smooth it down as opposed to sanding it down, which has left them perfect. So I'd done that, taken them out, they'd set and everything else like that. And it was time to see whether they fit, because you get your tooth slots and everything on there. Your teeth kind of sit behind the gum line here, not all the way down to the teeth. So it's like, right, these bad boys have hardened up, I've trimmed it and everything else. I hope they lock and stay in place, because obviously, like I say, I've used these other brand of teeth before, Billy Bob teeth. They didn't really lock in place, and I want something that looks convincing. You know, there's no point doing a special effect or FX, prosthetics and stuff like that if it doesn't look real. If it doesn't look real, don't bother doing it. And so I was very interested to see whether these lock in place, how would I look when I had them in and everything like that, because the ones that I used before, I keep going back to these Billy Bob teeth, but they were ridiculously thick. I ended up looking like some form of demented BG on it, and for some reason I find with these teeth, as well as the Billy Bob teeth that I use. You start speaking, no disrespect to anyone, anywhere across the world, but in kind of like this sort of deep south, almost redneck sort of sound, and that is no disrespect, it just makes you want to talk like that. And my wife has even said to me that with these in, you look like some sort of redneck from deep south. So to pop them in, you literally, once you've moulded them, the actual teeth and gums to your mouth, you then put your thermal beads in there. They've hardened up into this white plastic from clear. Literally pop them in. Same with the top ones. And they lock into place. Now I have developed a sort of a lisp, which is kind of expectable, if you know what I mean, because you've got a fresh set of dentures in your mouth, so it's going to take time for your tongue and everything to kind of like work around it. But hopefully your camera's picking it up. Oh, my back is killing. They look, the gum coloration on it is great. They literally go all the way down to the bottom and up top. Yeah, it does make the mouth protrude a bit, but that's to be expected because you're wearing a special set of dentures over your own. I hope you guys can understand me with these in. But the effect of them is absolutely stunning. And I do want to talk like a BG. And it does make you want to talk like this from down south, boy. But taking one of them out, you don't have to wear both sets together. You can wear the top set or the bottom set, depending on how your kind of mouth looks. So you can just kind of sort of look. Take those out. You don't want to see my dribble everywhere, or put the top ones in. And like I say, just clip in nice and easily, and they fit extremely well. There's no wiggling, they're not painful. I wore these for around about 2 hours at a time just to get a full feel of how they feel and how they look and everything. I know they must be good because my wife will not come anywhere near me while I'm wearing them, and they're just so damn good that it literally, as soon as I was wearing these and tried these on, it makes me want to go out and literally buy a different sort of set, if you know what I mean. They are so well crafted, and the time we've got top set, there you go, and the bottom set with all the chips in and everything. Like I say, I think it's made out of an acrylic and then painted over the top and sort of varnished and everything. Obviously you don't want to start wearing them, eating and drinking and stuff like that, but they're just so ridiculously well made and stuff for like film, special effects, visual stuff, Halloween even, parties and everything. They are great, and they have lasted. I've had, when was it, yesterday or the day before, I've had a day of pulling them out, putting them in, 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 messing with them a bit and everything because they are quite a solid thing. And just to check the longevity of it, if you know what I mean, and it hasn't affected them at all. One thing I did have to do with them with a hot pin is to just kind of like push that white material between some of the teeth because it did dribble out a bit too far. I'm not sure if I've done this. They've got a little place there just between those two teeth and the gums. Hopefully the camera's picking that up with the white material there. But was so easy to shape and kind of apply. And now they've got my teeth print in it and everything else, it's literally just a question of sliding it in and job done. And the same with the other. Lovely. And the wife hates them. She will not come with anywhere near me. And when it comes down to the price of it, I'm going to take it out so you can actually hear him properly rather than I feel like dancing, dancing. It's going to be one of the weirdest reviews I've ever done, swear to God. But when it comes down to the price of it, it obviously depends what sort you go for. These are the Pro Effects teeth, but they also do a custom effects teeth, which basically, as I believe, you kind of get one of these full indentation things to your teeth through in the mail. You then send it back to them, then they build up the teeth pretty much like a dentist does. But these Pro Effects teeth, that was the Custom Effects teeth, but the Pro Effects teeth you can literally shape and mold to your own mouth. And price of it, and to be honest, also just looking at my notes, it takes them on average anywhere up to and around 6 days from scratch to make, design, craft your teeth, and then to posting them to you. And it didn't take overly long, just over around about a week for them to post it to me. And like I say, I think it was from Belgium. I'm sure I said Belgium. Handmade in Belgium, yeah. And so price of them, €58.80 or 58.85 euros, which in a currency converter just before I done the review is £53.87. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. It's quite a lot of money. But I think for Halloween, movies, film, special occasions, they are certainly well worth it. I mean, the craftsmanship that just goes into making them, and like they actually do look like teeth. They don't look like some cheap sort of nasty sort of brand that you can pick up from joke shops and stuff like that. And the way that they have been created and sculpted is just pure. It's amazing. I love it. And like I say, I love special effects and that whole thing. All the little marks, the stains, the chipped teeth and everything, the overlapping, the missed tooth. And it surprised me, to be honest, at how easy they were to apply and install. They fit really snugly. There was no pain whatsoever. Would I pay £53.87 for these? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. And what's more, which I was showing you earlier, that on the back of this at the moment, we have a 15% off. Bearing in mind that Halloween is going to be coming up in the next couple of months. They do loads of different teeth. Like I say, there's the zombie soldier, they do vampire teeth, teeth with braces on, these ones with special plates that come over the side that make it look like your lips disappeared and everything. Ridiculously good. And these ones, like I say, that I've just been showing you, are called Nazareth Teeth. I cannot thank Rudger enough for sending those through for me to review. Absolutely fantastic. And like I say, Zombie 15 for 15% off of your order. Get in there quick, because I'm sure they're going to get busy with Halloween on it coming up very soon, especially with nights joining and everything. Dead easy to put in, dead easy to fix. Make something different. So thank you guys for that. I hope you've enjoyed my review. Please comment down below. I do read and will respond to any comment that is made. Thank you so much to Moonstruck Effects for sending these through. Fantastic work, and I cannot thank you enough. Take those out so I can talk a bit easier. And I will be getting another set of these from Moonstruck Effects, because I think they're absolutely top-notch stuff. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed my review. Have a fantastic afternoon. Keep on taking care of each other. Keep on looking after each other. Keep on helping and supporting each other. Above all, keep on loving each other. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next review from me, Matt. The Berserker. Have a good one, guys. Thank you. Take those out. Thank you, guys.